Have you ever stopped to think about what's really running the show inside your body? I mean, it's this incredible, massive workforce, millions strong, building and operating every single thing that makes you, well, you. But here's the catch. Not all of these workers are doing the same job. A good way to think about it is like a giant construction project. Your body is the site. You've got this huge crew swarming all over the place. But what's the real difference between the guy hauling bricks all day and, say, the master electrician who has to wire the whole building just right? That's the exact difference we're going to dig into today. All right, so every big project has to start with a plan, right? A blueprint. Well, for your body, that master plan is maybe the most complex, most detailed instruction manual on the entire planet. We call it the genome. And a scale we're talking about here is just mind-blowing. This personal instruction manual of yours is written with about 3 billion chemical letters. To put that in perspective, if you read just one of those letters every single second, without stopping, it would take you almost 100 years to finish. And that entire library is packed inside almost every single cell in your body. Incredible. So how does the cell actually use these instructions to, build stuff? It's a really cool two-step process. First step is transcription. This is kind of like making a quick photocopy of just one page out of that giant manual. A temporary copy of a gene is made into something we call messenger RNA, or mRNA for short. Then you've got translation. This is where the cell's machinery grabs that mRNA copy, reads it, and assembles the final product, a protein. It's like a tiny, perfect biological factory line. And that brings us to the workers themselves, the proteins. Yeah. If the DNA genome is the master plan that sits in the head office, then proteins are the actual construction crew out on the job site. They are the true workhorses of the cell, doing all the heavy lifting. And their to-do list? It's huge. I mean, these general workers do practically everything. They're building the physical structures of your body, think muscles and hair. They're acting like little transport trucks, carrying materials exactly where they need to go. They're even messengers, sending signals between cells. They really are the versatile, jack-of-all-trades members of the crew. But, and this is a big but, within this massive general workforce, there's this elite group of specialists. These are the high-skilled technicians of the crew. These are the enzymes. This one sentence says it all. It is the absolute key to understanding this. Enzymes are a type of protein, for sure, but they have a very specific, super important job that completely sets them apart. They aren't just hauling bricks or putting up walls, they're doing something way more precise. So let's look at this side by side. On the left, you've got your general protein workforce, doing all sorts of different jobs. But on the right, that's the enzyme specialist crew. They do one specific job and one job only. They speed up chemical reactions. They have a unique 3D shape that lets them lock onto a specific target. And get this, they can do this job over and over and over again without getting used up. Okay, so why does this actually matter to you? I mean, this is cool biology, but what's the takeaway? Well, it turns out these specialists have a critical mission that affects every single one of us, especially when it comes to modern medicine. This whole idea has led to an entire field of science called pharmacogenomics. Yeah, it's a mouthful, I know, but the concept is simple. It's the study of how your personal genetic blueprint and the specialist enzymes it builds changes how your body handles medications. It's the reason why a dose of medicine that works perfectly for your friend might not work at all for you. So let's meet a specific team of these specialists, the CYP450 family of enzymes. You can think of them as your liver's expert demolition crew. Seriously. Their main job is to find foreign stuff in your blood, like drugs, and break them down so your body can get rid of them safely. And here's how they do it. It's a simple 4-step process. A drug enters your system. Then, a very specific CYP450 enzyme, with its unique shape, finds that drug molecule and locks onto it. Then, the enzyme works its magic, chemically changing the drug, basically breaking it apart. And finally, once it's broken down, the drug can be safely flushed right out of your body. It's precise, it's efficient, and it's absolutely vital. And that brings us right back around, full circle, to your personal blueprint. Because the specific instructions written in your genome mean that your cellular workforce is completely, 100% unique to you. And get this, out of those 3 billion letters in your genome, Scientists figure there are only about 20 to 25,000 genes that actually code for proteins. Isn't that wild? That relatively tiny set of blueprints is responsible for building every single worker in your body, from the general crew all the way up to those elite specialists. And here it is. This is the big takeaway, the most important thing to remember. Tiny natural variations in those blueprints mean your body builds a slightly different crew of enzymes. Your demolition team might work a little faster or maybe a little slower than someone else's. And that is exactly why the same medicine can have such different effects on different people. It all comes down to your personal crew. For such a long time, the biggest challenge was just learning how to read this blueprint. But now, we can. So that leaves us with this huge, exciting thought to end on. What happens when we stop designing medicine for the average person and start designing it specifically for your personal crew? That, right there, is the future of personalized medicine. And believe me, it's already starting to happen.